Morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How you doing?
Okay, let's start. Self-confidence. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the outcome my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand myself from continued fashion towards entertainment, and I cannot accomplish my mission of passion. Second, I realize that dominating thoughts in my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in absolute flattery, and gradually transform themselves into reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts and arguments daily upon the task of being the person I am. Therefore, my equipment will picture that person. Third, I know the strength of body expression, and it is my persistent hold in my mind will eventually express the power of picturing out my back. Therefore, I will 10 minutes daily demand myself to develop self-confidence. Fourth, I clearly the evidence I have been achieving in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall fifth, I will apply a well-positioned long and short. I like to build blocks. Therefore, I will give you no try to what's all that I will continue by trying myself the fourth way to use and cooperate with other people. I will live for me, equality, and others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and I develop a love for all humanity. If I know that the negative attitude is others, I will not look at me, if I believe in them, and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit its memories, and repeat aloud once a day with full faith and gradually influence my thoughts and actions. So I am proud to have my myself person. 12-step formula. This is the 12-step formula of the new standard which, like quality time for all environments, guarantees 24+ transactions annually without pressure for growth. 1. I meditate 1 hour daily to check myself often. 2. I practice and exercise myself skills for 1 hour each day. 3. I contact my spirit rhythm with my bell, my phone, and in person, and myself for 4. I make better contacts for me, regarding class for A, my owner,
The waves are crashing. Tsunami is coming. All right, everybody doing?
Good.
Excellent.
That's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Summit tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. All right. I'm not paying as much attention to it because I'm not the one speaking, April, so I don't have to get all stressed out about it. I just have to show up like you guys do, right? And have a pen in hand and something to write on. So, all right, good to be with you guys. So you're in the middle. Lindsay and I yesterday talked about doing this because you're not. I was going to say you're not in the middle of a book. So
the next book, you guys, is going to be Unleash the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. So grab it. We should have them by the end of this week. A few of them at the front desk. So grab it and please start reading it so that we can go over it next week.
that's good. Chris, anything on the lending side of the world? Paul? Paul, you're back there too. Where are rates right now, by the way?
They're great.
About 4%.
Always good.
It's always a good time to buy?
Yeah, it's.
What are they though? What are they hovering around right now? About 4?
Yeah, they're three and a quarter, 3, 4%, depending on the credit rating.
Sure, of course.
But yeah, it's still a great time to pull the trigger.
Good deal, good deal. Okay, anything else?
Just Mike, tomorrow you probably have to cover that before I come in, right?
We did, we just got that done. All right, good. Well, hopefully, some of you I know were at the golf tournament earlier this week, or earlier yesterday. Any golfers? Dylan won. Dylan won a foursome to the homestead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good. My son got beaten on the closest to the hole. He was very disappointed on that by Jason Workman with First American. He's home warranty, right? First American home warranty, right?
Yes.
All right.
Home warranty.
All right, good.
Yeah. I want a plan.
So let's talk about something. Pardon?
I said I'll get a plan.
Yeah. So here's the question for you. And I have to tell you, I did a daily message on it this morning, and the question is this, or the question really is in the eyes of a homeowner or a home buyer, and the question is this. I had to throw really in there for you.
I love it.
For the video. All right. Do I really need a realtor? Is anybody? Taylor!
George!
Good morning.
Hey, you too.
All right, thank you.
You should ask him why he doesn't stay for affirmations.
Yeah, why don't
He
you?
comes back.
I was a role play, man.
Yeah.
You were?
He's here every day for role play.
All right, good man, good man. All right, we'll have to work on that.
He leaves for the affirmations.
You leave for the affirmations? Are you afraid of high-fiving your germaphobe?
I don't want to interrupt what you got going. You're on the
No, I just got started. How did you start it? All right. So, April, has anyone actually questioned why they even need a realtor? Does anybody? Here's what's interesting. I remember years ago when it was 05, 06, 07, and I remember answering that question when the market was just raging, and I would have agents themselves come into the office and ask themselves and be asking the question, my gosh, I mean, look how much money I'm earning on a transaction. Does this individual really need? Do they need a realtor? I mean, couldn't they just do all this on their own? So I want you to think about how many of you came from a profession where you were paid by the hour, or salary, which is the hour? I mean, get divided up into. I mean, at some level, our lives we were paid by the hour at some point, even if it was your summer job when you were 16 years old. The reality is, at some point, you were paid by the hour. Has everybody been paid by the hour in their lives? Okay, good. All right. So, some of the most excruciating times of being paid by the hour is when my grandmother would pay me $5 an hour to weed. That was like disastrous mentally for me. All right. But just think about that. Are you someone who's asking yourself, do they need a realtor? Like, think about for sale owners. Could they just sell on their own? Think about a buyer. Couldn't they just find a buyer, find their home? Couldn't they go directly to the seller and be able to go buy the home on their own? Do they really need you? Isn't the aggregators such as Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com, all of these individual companies, all these tech companies, are you feeling the squeeze as to why are they trying to get you? The instant offer, right, or something like that of Zillow, right? Trying to get rid, in so many words, are they trying to get rid of the agent? So are you important enough? Are you needed? It's kind of relevant because every day there's things they're trying to disrupt that equation, trying to disrupt the fact, are you needed, are you relevant into this business we call real estate? So one of the things that I want to point out is that your job is, one of your most important jobs is to remain relevant. And you have so many things that are trying to disrupt that. So many things that are trying to compete with that. But you have to really think about the fact, are you relevant to the marketplace, into what you do and what you offer? And questions that I would ask is, why then, if I'm talking to a seller, we're going to do a little role play, a little mini role play here. You ready?
You bet.
Right?
I love doing it.
How's your weight?
Good. How's yours?
It's up.
Well, I'm down 4, so.
Are you down 4?
it going.
All right. We have a little accountability, Rick.
Nice, love it.
All right. MLS. Why are there still homes on the market if the market's so good? Right?
I was reading an article by Homey.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting article, right? Why? Well, not really. For other reasons, I would say not really. but I did read it. The one on KSL that they put out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. MLS. All right. Why are there still so many homes on the market? All right. Why? Right. Why would a buyer not just go to the seller direct? Right. Or the seller. I'll put seller's agent direct. Okay. Oops. Why doesn't a for sale by owner just sell themselves, right? Why not? Why not just sell themselves? Why use you? Why even have you involved in the game? It's a really relevant question because if you can't defend it, it's a critical component to your success. And so many of us, I started talking about this, but then Taylor walked in and interrupted me, is that we are so used to being paid by the hour, but the reality is, I mean, Greg, you come from being a chiropractor, right? Still a chiropractor at some level, right?
Yeah.
But are you paid for the 15-minute or whatever office visit,
15 to 30.
15 to 30 minutes of the office visit, or are you really paid because of the results of the visit? This is an important mental shift for people who think that if they work hard, they get paid more. You will never earn tremendous amounts of money thinking, this is the thinking of, and I think you guys know where I'm going with this, this is the thinking of people who think, oh, well, I've got to do an open house so that they can see that I'm what? I'm doing something, I'm working. There are people who understand that it is not the hourly rate, but it is what?
Results.
The results. And the thing is we all know that. So the story is this of FedEx, and it's a true story. The entire plant shuts down. All right, it's in the book. The guy who, one of the owners of, not the main owner, but a guy who wrote, I can't remember, I have it in my office, but the FedEx story. And this is what happens. The FedEx plant shuts down. They're on the verge of complete collapse. They've done everything, all their technicians, all their engineers, everybody has tried to get it done, to get it up and running, get it up and going, because everything stopped. Okay? So they call the guys who created the whole thing. And they bring the guys in, and the one guy, within minutes, diagnoses the problem and fixes it. And it literally came down to the way in some kind of grounding thing, and he had to actually screw in one screw. And boom, it started working. So he takes his bill to the owner. And this is a true story. He charges him how much? $10,000. Of course, the owner is like, what? $10,000? You were here for 10 minutes. He goes, that's ridiculous. You got, I want, and this is what he said. He goes, I want an itemized bill. This is what he does. 10 cents for the screw. I can't even do my math, but you get $9,999.90 for knowing which screw to turn. Something like, or which screw to screw. Right? Everyone's minds are going everywhere. I know, right? But that's a true story. So the question is was the engineer, the technician who came in, paid for the time that he spent? No. He was paid for the results of what he gets. So whether a home sells in 10 minutes, I mean, have people ever sold a home in like an hour when you list it? 6 hours? It's amazing how we think we find the right home, like a buyer, right? Bless you. We find the right home within minutes, like out as we're looking and showing property. But we have to feel like, well, wait a second. We found the home on the first 1 or 2 homes? I still need to show you 18 more homes to make sure that I feel like I did my job and I got paid, because you're going to pay me thousands of dollars, and I got to make sure I waste my time, even though I found you the right home on the first one or two. Think about what you're doing. You are paid for results. You are not paid by the hour. You are paid for the outcome, not the amount of homes you show. You are paid because you do your job effectively and efficiently, not because you're paid by the hour. So why are you here? Why do I need a realtor? Because it is based on the results that you get, not the time that you spend. If you want to waste your time filling like flyer boxes and open houses and showing additional property that is not necessary, to stand boldly in front of your client and go, this is the best one on the market, this is the one you need to buy. Instead of, well, if you want to see more property, okay, I'll show you more. I mean, are you sure? That's not leadership. That's being a gopher. That's being, you know, a slave to the process. Results. Find the right home and tell them that's the right one. And it's the best one for you when you know that it is. Tell them. And when it's the sale, if you sell it in 6 hours and you make $15,000, congratulations. It doesn't matter. A guilty verdict or a you're free verdict. Do you think that the person is concerned by the amount of hours that the attorney is spending, or are they just concerned with the outcome? The client is only concerned about one thing, the outcome. Am I going to be free? Right? You've got to think about that. Right? Are you really, I mean, here's a good example. A surgery in a hospital costs a certain amount. And it's designated, it can't be more. But sometimes they do the surgery in an hour, and other times they may take 6 hours. But the surgery, the cost of the surgery is the same. Think about that. So when you're thinking about, well, wait a second, am I really worth all that I'm doing? You're worth it because it's based on the results and the outcome that you're expecting to get for a family, for an individual, for their future, for their life, for their dreams, where they'll raise their children, where they'll create all their memories. You're giving them the results that they want out of their life. So, go back to the question, do I need a realtor? MLS, why? What? Do I need a seller? Go to the today, we'll be on channel 4, I think it's 4, right? I should know that. What channel we're going to be on here in about an hour. All right. I think it is channel 4, isn't it?
I think it is.
It is ABC.
Yes. We'll find out and text you.
I can't remember. That's bad. Good Things Utah. What channel is that on? Is that 4?
It's 4.
All right. I'm going to be talking about why a buyer. How often is the listing agent representing trying to get there, and they'll say, oh, I'll give you a partial, I'll even give a 1% reduction in my commission, or I'll do it. Yeah. What about the inspection? What about the problems? What about the things they don't show? What about the things they don't see? Just from an inspection standpoint, are they being protected? Just from the standpoint, did they really get the best price when the contract originally was set up for the seller? I'm fascinated by how many people walk into a builder and just assume that the builder is their buyer's agent. It's fascinating to me that they literally are just allowing representation who is being represented by the seller to be the representation to the buyer. To think that they will not save money is ridiculous by using the agent. How about the for sale by owner in today's market? The example today we're going to give is one of Erin Mailer, where the client came in and thought their home was worth $360,000. She went, whoa, hold on a second here. Your home is worth $400,000, and 1 week later, and it's already closed, she made $40,000 more, and they were going to sell it for $360,000, thinking FSBO, $360,000. Just pure stupidity at every level. If every home was going to sell because it was put on the MLS, why are there still 2,000 plus homes on the market just in Salt Lake County?
Expires.
Right? In the end, what I will echo today, even on the TV thing, is that this business,
Channel 4, by the way.
right, is that this whole thing comes down to this. And if you if you know, you can say you're a salesperson, that's fine. You can say you're a realtor, right? You put the big R on your chest, and you know, that's great. But in the end, the fact is that this business, your clients or future clients or any individual needs people to lead. And the leadership is about the result, not about the time. It is the result.
It's interesting you wrote leadership too, because one challenge I have is building the rapport first with a person, and then they will allow me to bring this message to them. They don't want to hear it unless I have that rapport.
Have that connection, right? The rapport. You bet.
Then I can go into this, yard sale approach. Are you prepared to go head to head with a buyer's agent when they come to you as a for sale by owner, when the buyer's best interest is what they're going to focus on?
Yeah. So if I had Taylor said to me, "Hey, can you please do an open house on my house?" And because my home hasn't sold, and I will often say, you really want me to do that? And they say yes. And so let me ask you a question. Are you just looking to see me actually physically do work to constitute the fact that whether or not you think I'm doing my job? Or are you going to allow me, Taylor, to do the most effective things that helps our organization sell a home every 4 hours? When we know that an open house is not the reason your home hasn't sold. You're overpriced. That's the problem. But that would be my conversation. Right? If they said open house, I would say, if I'm level shifting, I'd say what I really hear you saying are flyers. Do you actually believe your home hasn't sold because there isn't an open house? Do you actually believe your home hasn't sold because there's not a flyer? Do you actually believe your home hasn't sold because you have a poor picture of your front living room on the web? I mean, what I call that is let me hold up the stupid mirror, because you are stupid. So you can look at the mirror and go, that's a dumb question or statement. And my favorite thing is to hold up the stupid mirror to people and go, let me make sure I'm clear what you just said. You're telling me that you believe your home didn't sell because we didn't do an open house. Well, it can't hurt. No, it can hurt, because it takes us away from the truth. And the truth is, Taylor, is what? You're overpriced. That's the truth. You hired a leader, not some puppet. And those are the correct statements I will make to a client. I'm not your puppet. I'm not sitting here like this, whatever you want me to do. I'm here to lead you. And telling you that an open house, a flyer, or more additional advertising is the reason your home hasn't sold is absolute nonsense. So let's get real, Taylor. Reduce your home like you said you would when we sat down the first time. You have 3 jobs. 1, price it right. Number 2, make it available. And number 3, have it in great condition. You're doing 2 out of 3. What price are you willing to go to today? At minimum, it has to be 5%. Paul, sorry. How are you feeling about that?
It's an interesting, comparison. I think to legal, in the legal environment where you have a counsel on both sides. I think a lot of realtors end up discounting and recoiling, because I think a lot of them don't have the confidence or don't have the level of understanding of who they are and what they can do for and in behalf of a buyer and or a seller.
Could you any more?
I mean, on my side, I've done real estate transactions as a buyer-seller. I expect the realtor to understand that contract inside and out, frontwards, backwards, 360 degrees, and be able to understand, recognize the variables, the unknowns, and be able to memorialize those into a contract. Because, if individuals are on their own, they don't think of those things. And they're looking for leadership. I mean, a buyer and seller is looking for leadership and direction and coaching and understanding on what the nuances are, what the holes are, what the pitfalls are, and so I don't make a mistake. And again, I think if an individual goes in with an extraordinary level of confidence to lead and then manage, because we all know that, there are 2 different things. There's leadership, there's management. And take that leadership role and, have the confidence to lead the individual through and not recoil because, well, I'm just a realtor.
It's good. It's good. Great points. Okay, any other thoughts? You are paid for the result. Guess what happens when the home doesn't sell? Guess what happens? You don't get paid. Right? When there is no sale, whether it took you 3 months or 3 days or 3 hours, if you don't get the result, you don't get paid. So stop this nonsense of thinking that you're paid too much for the amount of time that you spend. Think about the story of FedEx. Think about the realities that you are there to know which bolt or screw to turn and get paid thousands of dollars to get the job done. And there will be days when the market is not so good and it will take you longer to get a home sold, and there will be days when the market is raging white hot and you'll get the home sold in minutes. Fine. But you're paid for the result, not the hours that you spend.
George, I like what you're bringing up, because I think oftentimes us agents, we don't want to confront people, and especially listing, because we're afraid to lose the listing. And I love one of the things that you've always told me, or more or less a true friend or a true leader confronts, right? We don't coddle people. We confront people to get what it is.
If we love them, we will confront them, right?
Yeah.
We will. That's what we'll do.
If you truly care, you would confront them and say, your home is overpriced.
You say it a little stronger than that, though.
Right.
I usually raise my voice and get a little stern. And then I say, are you mad? No. Yes. Because you're not doing your part of the bargain. And I always love saying this. I spend my time, my energy, my effort, and my money to get your home sold. I have kept my commitment. You have not kept yours. I'm going to attack your values when you don't reduce your home, because you committed when I listed it that you would follow the plan. And now you're weaseling out of it because you think somehow you talk to your friend or other realtors that they know what they're doing.
I hate that.
Do you think it's an accident that we sell a home every 4 hours? You think it just happens because we flip a coin and maybe some sell and some don't? It's because we know what we're doing. Follow me, follow my plan, and your home will get sold. Period. I mean, guys, in today's market, and the market will continue to shift, and some of the people who are like, Brian, you're working upper end property, I'm telling you, you guys have got to get aggressive. Look, I get it if you have a $200,000 or $300,000 home, it's going to sell in most cases like that. But these upper ends, you better get fierce right now on pricing property right. Every day that goes by, Brian, you, in a home that doesn't sell, you are losing that client money. Your moral obligation, because the market is not going to go up in the upper end market before it climbs deeply, radically down. Every day that goes by, you are costing them money for not having their home sold. That is leadership. That is a result. And you got to think like that. A leader, not some salesperson, not just, I'm trying to make some part-time income and maybe. That's not what we're here for. You're not here because of that. A lot on my mind. I gotta go. I have no other conversation I wanted to have, Greg, but I can't. I gotta go. We gotta go, don't we?
Okay.
Can you bring this down just a notch?
You're stepping it up.
I got my next bill, I'm going to call up and tell him he's a weasel.
You can send him one, a picture of one, say, I have an email for you. Look at that. Does it look familiar? Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, here we go. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
How many of you, come on, I've done it. I have done it. How many of you have shown extra property thinking that you didn't show enough, right? Only 2 of you, come on. All right. I mean, you find the first, how many of you found the right home after like the first home, and then all of a sudden you think, oh my gosh, I better show you more. Guys, I paid for the result. That's a great script. I'm paid for the result. We may look at 1 home or 20 homes, but I'm here to find you the right home, and I'm paid for the result. Not my time, the result. Big difference in your mindset when you think that way. Okay? All right, here we go. I succeed because I have my goals. I am confident. I like talking to people. I know it's more than I hear people say. I have a data plan I follow. I am passionate about real estate. I know consistency is my greatest goal. I like asking questions and listening. I enjoy getting to improve my sales skills. My thoughts, my emotions, action results. I focus on my dream field. I
a servant. I give my daily. I connect to me. He's lovely. I love it. I kiss the cabinets for his schedule. I trust the day. I said, when you daily. I'm a master player. I achieve my goals. I'm a real rock star. I am passionate about my life. I never hit it purpose. I talk to my siblings. I know my destiny. I'm healthy strong. I'm proud. I'm strong. I keep up.
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Because of some of you tonight.
Greg, do we have more you said tomorrow?
I will have role play tomorrow, and we are
I
not.
don't know, you're making me nervous, but I am
No role
thinking.
play?
Let's travel.
No role play tomorrow, because I'm gonna be, yeah, just go over there.
Perfect. Straight.
Okay, go straight over. So there's no morning set, no role play.
Be sure to know.
Hey guys, rock and roll.
Yes, sir.
Time to get results, Greg.
Let's do it.
Right?
Paid for.
Okay. Okay, boss, just me and you.
Just you and I.
All right.